stop. Nothing wrong with that. Give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to live, to thrive, to succeed, to believe. You literally have to give yourself permission to do those things. So if you have been over here on this page for some time, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for for just sticking it out. Waiting for the chance to come back and start to just wake this YouTube page up. I actually have another one and another one. You probably seen them, but I'm going to start bringing everything together because why not? Why not have so many? Why? So I have been doing some things today, and I've been thinking about the importance of a reset, of restarting. And I've been talking to some people this week, and it's so interesting. Almost everyone has been saying, I feel like they've been going through like this rebirth of being born again, even though they are believers, they're Christians. And I felt it too. And it's so fun. There's a song from way back when about with you, I'm born again. I don't know why, but that song was kind of, I just kept hearing it, born again, born again. And truthfully, after you go through like this time that many people have gone through, that felt like a wilderness season, that felt like unusual warfare, that felt like just a whole lot of other things that you didn't want it to. Who knows why the mic just muted for no reason? Maybe what I just, including myself, we're going through like this journey that kind of look like, the movie, like The Pursuit of Happiness. Some people were literally going through that, where they felt like it was lost. There are people who are experiencing joy. I believe that is that the side of us, we have this creative ability that's there, but sometimes we are doing other things or something. You just have to do it this way, or maybe you feel consumed doing it for creativity, and creativity is really important. Or maybe like the widow with the oil in Second Kings 4, you look and said, I have to do this, I have to figure this out and pay this and all of these things. But yet the very thing that seems like it was so insignificant is the very thing that you placed on the side and said, that's not that important. I just know how to do that. But yet that's the thing that the Lord wants you to use. He wants you to, a bit of, wants you, let me see what's going on with the Wi-Fi again. It's acting up. Okay, let's see what we are. Okay, Wi-Fi is acting a little. It was doing fine, but probably because a lot of people are on it. And I have to figure out how to use this other hotspot device. But anyway, I'm going to keep going as it goes in and out to see if I can get this done. The main thing is that I don't want you to quit or stop when life looks in. I really want you to keep going. I want you to have what they called audacity, to have audacity. And it's skipping now. I guess that's what it's doing. But I'll go back and look at the replay and see if it's worth me putting up. And if not, come on, do it then. Because it is important to be able to tell someone who has been going through what I might refer to as the valley, the shadow of death, or through that season where you're growing, but you're also like almost being broken at the same time. Like the potter is kind of like, let's make this vessel over again. Or you're going through that Job season where the enemy is literally saying they're only serving you for one reason, for God. And maybe you've been there where the enemy was pointing his finger at you and saying, you know what, they're only serving you because of what you do and what they have. But if you take it away, they're not going to love you anymore. And you are able to and love God through the shame, through the smear campaigns, through the sabotage, through the loss, through the moments that actually look like, what is wrong with that person? You ever know, like sometimes people are looking at you like, I don't understand that person. I don't get what's going on with them. But what they don't know is that you are in this journey, this walk of faith. And a walk of faith is not always going to look the same for everyone. Some people, their walk of faith is, hey, you already have $1 million or millions, can you continue to trust me? And then there are some other people who, like a Joseph, end up going through that season of the pit to the next thing, to the sabotage, to the this, to the that. And you have to have in your mindset that you are not going to quit, but it's more than your mindset. It's actually walking with God and partnering with God and saying, Lord, as long as you don't let me go, I'm not going to let you go. That's the part. That's the part. As long as you don't let me go, God, I'm not going to let you go. Even if it looks odd, embarrassing, even if I don't understand what it is that you're doing, says that you have thoughts of peace and not of evil for me, to give me a hope and a future. The Bible also, in another version, it talks about an expected end. In other words, God is not, how can I put it, like he's not surprised at what you're going through. It's an expected end. He knows the end from the beginning. He's expecting for you to actually, who strengthens me. He's expecting for you, if you go through a Job season, not to be like Job's wife and have a curse God and die moment. He's expecting for you to not just to, just have faith and kind of say, well, maybe God's going to do, well, maybe he's not, I don't know, but to actually stand and say that the God that I serve is able. He's expecting for you not to use your words for evil, not to use your words to speak against yourself, which is self-depreciation, but to use your words for good and to believe, right? And then by faith, knowing that God is able to do all things. And so I want to speak that to you. It's jumping. I can't wait to go back and look at this replay. Hopefully it'll catch up to itself. But I just want to come on here to encourage you just for a moment and to say, keep going. There is a promised land. And I know that, but I want to say, Lord, what are you doing in my life? Because your word stands above the word of everyone else. And if you were saying that I've already gone through that season and that you are going to turn that around and that you are going to allow favor, that I already have favor, because you're looking at social media and you expect for your favor to look like somebody else's favor. And it doesn't. It doesn't always look like money. Although money and wealth is an amazing thing. Yes, hon. It's a good thing, but it doesn't always look like that. So sometimes that favor is going to look like the fact that God kept you through something that other people would have given up in, right? The favor is going to look like when you're going through that, your daily bread. And each day it was daily bread, where you were just like, Lord, I believe. I'm not going to worry. I'm not going to doubt. That's favor. The favor could look like you made it out of the hospital. The favor could look like the fact that you still are operating in your right mind and that you're still trying, that you haven't given up, even after shame, that you are still here. That's the favor that God gives, even when people them look at me. That's not the favor. That's not, that's something else, right? Right? I'm talking about those who have the heart and the compassion. They extend the love of God. The Good Samaritan extended the love of God to that person who was broken, who had been wounded. He wasn't like, yeah, and that's not how the Lord does it. And so that can be the favor in your life where you meet those destiny helpers. And maybe for a time you were that destiny helper and you were how be given. And so that word was actually, it happened in your life where you were the one who was giving. That was me. New York, I'm giving. I didn't even care. I'd be like, don't, you don't have to pay me back. I'm a lender. Not, no, not, I didn't even say I was a lender. I said I'm a giver. And then it was just like, I don't want them to feel ashamed. If God gives us good gifts, then we should be able to be that to each other, right? And so, but in the giving, there were times when it was hard to receive. And that's a space where our hard to ask. And it says, asking, it shall be given. Some people have been calling people beggars and all of this stuff, and they really don't have a right to do that because they don't know what God is breaking off of that person. Didn't know that they had pride. And so what happened was he was breaking that pride off of them to say, you by yourself. I have people who I put out here to be a resource and a help to you because you were a help to others. And they had to learn how to ask. My goodness, right? Sometimes it seems like it's hard, but we have to get over that. We have to let that go because God just has a way of turning things around. So I want I want you to know that, as I think there's a song that says trouble won't last always. I want you to get into the secret place of God, even when you don't understand what's going on, and say, but God, I trust you. Lord, I believe, and keep saying it over and over again. Nothing too hard. Tears stream down your face. There's nothing too hard for you, God. So I'm getting ready to close. I'm going to try this week to put up a video every day. That is not a hard thing as long as the Wi-Fi is acting all right. But if it's not, I'll just probably put up something that I saved because there's no way, and I want you to say this for yourself, for many of you, that I went through all of the things that we have, and it's just for us, all of it in the internet. No, the wisdom to be able to share with others. I'm looking at my daughter. One day I'm going to bring her on. But the wisdom to be able to look at your life and help somebody else who's either in the same situation or maybe 2 years ago, and all that you gained to be able to help. And that's creative. I am a creative. I'm going to create a digital product, write a book, right? Don't give up. That's the bestseller. That's on Amazon. And I also have it in other places. And I'm going to start sharing the link because with all the stuff that you went through was not live right now. Thank you. Make sure to subscribe. You can like if you want to, but subscribe so you can come back to the page as I continue to share about faith and resilience, and also as a visionary and strategist, different strategies for you to start to move forward and transform in your life. All right. I'll talk to you real soon. Go ahead and live and walk by faith, not by sight. Let's see if it'll end because sometimes it doesn't. Let's see. And yet sometimes StreamYard takes a while for it to. Takes a little bit for this to go off, so I'll keep trying.